can you tell us how everyone here knows you, or like what they know you as?
The #1 LCS fangirl.
And why is that?
Because I have gone to not only every game of the split, but I've also been to Barcelona for All-Stars, and I went to Toronto for the summer finals last year, and I'll be going to Vancouver for the spring finals.
Right. So you're here every weekend
Yes.
in Los Angeles, but you also have told me that you're not from LA. Where are you from?
San Diego.
Right. So you make that drive every weekend.
Yeah.
And then how do you like stay here over the night, or do you like drive back and forth?
I'll usually get a hotel. Sometimes I'll stay with friends, but I'll usually get a hotel for the weekend. It's been a lot nicer the past 2 weeks since it's been quarters and semis, and it's only the 2 days instead of Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Right. Wait, do you also come on Fridays too then during the regular season?
I did.
Oh, wow. So then you're staying overnight 2 nights in a row, not just that. Okay. What got you into League?
My friend was playing one day, and I just was watching him, and I was like, wow, this looks really fun. And I went out the next day and bought a PC that was able to run it.
Right.
And I just started playing, but at the time I lived in Hawaii.
Right.
I wasn't that into LCS or watching the pro games at all. But once I moved to San Diego, I started watching the pro games more. And then I was like, wait a second, these are in LA, so I might as well just drive down and see a game. And ever since that first game, it was the quarterfinal or the semifinals between TSM and CLG.
Yeah.
In the summer split. And I don't know, ever since, from the moment I drove up and I saw the Jumbotron and all of the fans waiting outside, I was just, hooked. I felt like I was just part of, a big family, and it was just, a giant meetup, and just the energy that it gives off, and it's just an incredible experience, and I don't know, I just couldn't get enough.
What introduced you to the actual LCS? Did you just stumble upon Twitch, or did some of your friends tell you hey, there's this thing where all these players actually do professional matches? Because I know it's different. Some people who know of the game don't really follow LCS, and vice versa. There's people who follow the LCS but don't play the game.
Right. One of the first streamers that I watched was actually BoxBox.
Oh, right. Okay.
But, he's not a professional or anything. I think the thing that got me into watching it, other than how on the old client it used to pop up with LCS is starting, I would watch a couple of those. One of the guys that I used to play with, every time we would play, he would play mid lane. And every time he would do something good, he would type in all chat, call me Bjergsen. And I was like, who is Bjergsen? So,
how do you even pronounce that name?
Right? It's what is a Bjergsen? So that's when my friend introduced me to TSM. So they were the first team that I actually followed. But coming to all the games, I love all the teams, and I'm not biased towards any of them, really.
You just want to see them overall do well, have a good time, be then does that hurt for you when you see and watch relegation? You're like, no, because you kind of form a little bit of a bond with your team, I have a little bit of a connection, and I'm seeing them in the bottom 2, 3.
Yes, when I went to relegations for Liquid and Envy, I was just tearing up my seat, oh man, I was just no, my boys, please be okay. I would have been I feel like if they would have, either Liquid or Envy would have gotten relegated, and then GCU or E United have gotten in, it's a part of me, a part of the LCS is gone, and it's now there's this new team, and I don't know how I would have been accustomed to that, but I'm just glad both of the teams made it out and are back in.
So coming all the time, definitely the cost adds up, right? Because there are no package deals for tickets, right? But then now that Riot seems to be maybe thinking about those season passes kind of thing, will that definitely make things even easier? Do you think you'll be able to bring some friends out with you, be hey, it's cheaper, you should totally come with me, and then I'll introduce you to this whole new world that you've never seen before, stuff like that?
I'm so waiting for them to do season passes, because I just know every time like when they did the tickets this season, they did them for like weeks 1 through 4, and then they did like the rest of them at a different time. I was like setting my alarm every time the tickets would go on sale because I didn't want them to sell out before I could get them. So as soon as they went on sale, I would like buy all of them. And there were times where I bought like more than one ticket on accident just because
Really?
It was like kind of hard to keep track of sometimes which ones I actually got. Also the fact that when they were playing, they had a game in the arena and in the theater.
Right.
And sometimes it's like, oh, well, I want to watch the first game in the arena, but the second game in the theater. So sometimes I would buy both wristbands just so I could go in between the two theaters. So if they did season passes, that'd be great. Just be able to like walk back and forth and not have to worry about like buying tickets in the middle of the season.
So you're here all the time. You probably definitely make friends, or people have seen you as a familiar face. Who do you think you would say is like kind of your closest friend, maybe, that you've met since you've been coming all the time, amongst either some staff or like even players that I feel like at some point you must have met the players, or you go to the fan meets after your games.
Right.
So who do you think you would say you're closest to in terms of like players?
Probably Svenskeren or Afromu. Back after the summer finals, when I was flying back here from Toronto, I was on the same plane from Canada, and I actually sat next to Svenskeren, so we kind of got to know each other on there. And then I actually met Afromu through a mutual friend.
Oh, wow.
He's a sweetheart. He's like the nicest guy. So other than that, I've gotten pretty close to Captain Flowers. Like, he's a phenomenal caster, and he's super nice, super sweet, really open to like talking to anybody. So I just got talking to him, and then Dash, I've hung out with him a couple times. He's actually the one who was able to get me into the promotion tournament.
Right, because you were there as well.
Yes.
Right.
Which is only for friends and family, but I had to go watch my boys. So I'm so glad that he was able to get me into that.